Hello and welcome back to episode 46 of the MotoGP Career Mode. In today's video we will be off to Phillip Island for one of the greatest tracks in the world. A simply stunning track, and I'm really looking forward to this race weekend. It's one of the gems of the calendar, you could say. First up though, it doesn't appear to be that we can do anything because I am absolutely skint. I'm 3,000 credits in debt. I'm about to fully max out the engine for my Moto 3 bike, so I have a appointment for a contract renewal at my World Aprilia, paid salaries, and I'm 140,000 credits in debt. So you might remember me saying a few episodes ago that I'm going to focus on getting myself set as best as possible for next year. I'm not doing a great job, clearly. I'm massively in debt, but yeah, you can see, look, 12,000 there, 20,99,000 credits. There's a contract offer. We'll go have a look at it. Now I'm interested to have a look. So if I go to personal manager, go to my contract, so 400 annual salaries so I just want to confirm or compare what they're offering me. So top 10 in race, top 10 in the championship versus top 15 in the race, top 10 in the championship. Annual salary is just over $1 million, 480,000 there. Signing on bonus 100,000, 200,000. Gold bonus 34, 15. So pretty much they've doubled everything, but still that's still falls short basically of the Suzuki offer I've accepted. And top 5 in the race, that's something I believe I could do. Again, now I'm going to have to get on that Suzuki and build it around me. That's the main thing. I'm going to have to craft that now to be a nice fitted glove so that it does exactly what I want. Because when I've come into this Aprilia, it's a bit here and there all over the place, and it's taken me a long time to get good on this bike. And it's taken a lot of development, and it's still a long way off challenging for a championship. You might look at the recent calendar, thirds as well there, but I'm afraid it's not been all. If we go back actually and have a look at all season long, so 12, so points, no points. 4th in Jerez, that's an outlier, because Jerez I'm the one making the difference. No points. 6th Mugello again. 6th Mugello and Catalunya were me again. Sachsenring just inside the top 10, 13th in Aston. I was in struggle again with that. I remember this race vividly being an absolute nightmare fight for 1 point last corner. I dive bombed Aleix Espargaro. This race here is where I basically in my head was like, yeah, this Aprilia isn't going to be the one for me. And then of course I backed it up by putting it on the podium in Silverstone, and then Aragon I was like, yeah, it was the right decision. I made the right decision. The bike just isn't good enough. That was a bit of a lucky round. Then I went and won a Misano again, completely out of the blue, and then Motegi got me thinking maybe, just maybe, I've made a mistake. And then I went to Chang thinking, yeah, I'll probably be slow here, and then I got on the podium as well. So it's all up in the air, but we have Phillip Island today and I'm really looking forward to it. Enough rambling for me, let's get on track. So unfortunately my qualifying lap didn't record. I was recording, and in the footage it's just pure static, and I was lucky that someone called to my house and I stopped recording and restarted it, because otherwise we'd have no episode 46. But I managed to get into Q2 once again, P3 in free practice, and we qualified second, as you can see there, just under a tenth off of Francesca Bagnaia on pole. So this is a real rider's track. I feel pretty good around here, and yeah, the form is continuing somehow. I'm still skeptical. I believe we're going to come crashing down. Up next is Sepang, which I really struggled in pre-season, but I was way off the pace. But I do really like that track, but we shall see. First up today is Phillip Island, of course, so we do need to focus on that. Here we are on the grid with 5 red lights, and we are away, and we get a very, very good initial launch. And we get side by side, and we actually touch just slightly with Bagnaia, but we're up into the lead into turn 1. Are we going to make the whole shot Yes, we are. We just about squeezed, and now it's Fabio Quartararo, and there's a crash for Johan Mir, the Suzuki rider. So ever since I've signed for Suzuki, they've had such bad luck. We are fair bit wide there through the southern loop, but we are in the lead, so we're doing great off the launch. Sector 1 is complete through Stoner, what a corner, and down into the old Honda hairpin, but we get in massively deep, run out onto the long lap penalty, and there's a crash into Fabio Quartararo, and he takes out Marquez. I didn't catch exactly what happened there, but Marquez and Fabio Quartararo both end up on the deck at turn 4. So now we've dropped out lead down to P5, and that's really affected us because we seem a bit shaken at the moment as we come through Lukey Heights for the first time in the race, and we are way off. Aleix Espargaro, the factory Aprilia rider, is just behind, and Alex Rins has taken over at the front from myself. Frankie Morbidelli battling side by side with Miller for the last spot on the podium. No, we just need to get into rhythm. It could be a bit of a Moto3 race here as the Ducati just mirror signal maneuver on the Yamaha. Not even fair. We do, even without the slipstream, we pull in a nice little couple tenths on him. But yeah, you can see there's a lovely gap. There's only 0.4 covering the top 5, which is a real Moto3 race here going on in Phillip Island. This track is a great riders track, and over the years you see races like this through all categories. But we just need to make sure, as it's 3 wide coming into turn 4, the old Honda hairpin. But it's actually, I don't know where to look. When I was racing at the time, I was really enjoying it because I wasn't under stress to keep with them. They were quite easy to stay with, and I was able to just kind of manage my tyre ever so slightly, just because I tried and practiced a hard rear or medium rear first, and my pace was good, but I shredded the inside. A lot of long corners, and you're on the edge of the tyre a lot, using a lot of power, and I just absolutely shred through the rubber. So I tried a hard, but pace just wasn't there. I followed a few riders and I couldn't really match them out of the corner, which kind of just put me off. And I wanted to run it, but it wasn't good enough to make use for the race. I'd have to be probably leading, but even at that I reckon I'd be getting dive bombed. But the gap is just starting to open up between us and the top guys. I think Frankie doesn't seem to have the pace, nor does Rins. I think the 2 Ducati riders, obviously Miller at home on a full factory Ducati, wants to do well. We're getting close to the back of Frankie. I was thinking about it down into turn 10, into the very difficult turn 10, and then around 11 into the final corner we come. And you can just see there's a gap opening up in front, so I'm going to have to try and blast past Frankie Morbidelli down into turn 1, or even get him done before the line. We should have a good bit of overspeed. We do up into power 3 and just about pass him after the line, and that is us up to P4, so 1 spot away from the podium once again. No funky tyre choices this race, so I don't expect either of these riders to have poor race pace any part of the race. I reckon if we're going to get a podium today, it's going to be done on genuine pace. We come through Stoners, absolutely nailed it through there, and I'm pretty good on the brakes that time. He goes slightly defensive, Rins there, and I actually go wide. I got a bit of a fight there. I remember just getting a little too hot coming through Siberia, or classic corner. You get some great pictures there. Just over my shoulder you can see the sea, and usually just some great photographer images you'd see there from the usual GP weekend. But ever since Frankie has been dropped, the pace has ever so slightly gone up. So I think Frankie was just holding up these guys ever so slightly. We're massively in deep into MG, running slightly wide, so we are having to push a bit just to stay with the running pack. It's a very, very hard track, this one. It's fun, That's fast and flowing, but it's so hard to be consistently fast around here. It's an incredible track though. We set our PB of the race so far, and the Ducati boys have just absolutely dropped Rins, and we're going to send it into Honda hairpin. We're going to just sit him up ever so slightly. He goes wide trying to take the outside line. We're going to square it off. We don't know if we have the grip. He is just on our inside, and we cut across his nose. Once again, we leave the door open, but he doesn't manage to get in there, and we managed to take P3. So we're up onto the podium now with about 3.5 laps remaining. So our wonderful streak of podiums continues. But unfortunately, we didn't have the pace to catch anyone at the front. And it goes slightly wide here, and Rins comes up the inside of me. I think it was a last lap dive bomb from himself, but unfortunately it just wasn't enough. We do end up winning the race, taking the fastest lap as we're about to cross the line. That brings Rossi into the top 8, so good end to the season for Valentino. But it's another podium in Phillip Island. So we chalk off another brilliant result here in Australia at the Phillip Island Grand Prix. Francesco Bagnaia, who I actually didn't see where he went, funnily enough. He must have got collected in the crash. Now that I think of it, I don't know where he went, but he ended the race out of the points and with the fast lap. But what a brilliant result once again. P5, so points for both of our rookies as usual. So solid results there from them. But at times I'm starting to believe maybe just maybe was the opportunity of staying at Aprilia what I should have done. I'm starting to think maybe it was just the wrong decision to jump ship. But on the other hand, I'm really looking forward to getting on the Suzuki. That Suzuki project is something that really interests me. But yeah, we'll have to, not long to go now. We have 2 more races with the Aprilia, and then we're off to Suzuki. So I'm going to leave it there for today. Thank you so much for watching. I shall have another episode up in the coming days for the penultimate round of the GP season. Thanks for watching. I shall see you in the next one. Bye bye and take care.